Today, I gave every NBA team the best player in their franchise's history. I'll be simulating the 2027 season with all the new offseason moves, and we're going to see which team does the best with their new addition. We'll be simulating one season and injuries will be off. So I'll go through the new addition for every team real quick. The 76ers got Moses Malone and they also just signed LeBron. The Bucks got Kareem. The Bulls got Michael Jordan. Cavs got LeBron James. The Boston Celtics got Larry Bird. The Clippers got Bob McAdoo. The Grizzlies got Marc Gasol. The Hawks got Bob Pettit. The Miami Heat got D Wade because LeBron is on the Cavs. The Hornets have Kemba Walker. The Jazz have John Stockton. The Kings have Oscar Robertson. The Knicks have Walt Frazier. The Lakers have Kobe. I could have gone Magic. They already have a point guard in Luka. The Magic have Dwight Howard. The Mavs have Nowitzki. The Nets have Julius Erving. The Nuggets already have Jokic, who's their franchise GOAT, so I gave them Alex English. For the Pacers, I added Paul George, so there is 2 Paul Georges now in the league. There's also 2 LeBrons. The Pelicans have Chris Paul. The Pistons have Isaiah Thomas. The Raptors have Vince Carter. The Rockets have Hakeem. The Spurs have Tim Duncan. The Suns have Steve Nash. The Thunder have Westbrook. The Timberwolves have Kevin Garnett. The Trailblazers have Clyde Drexler. The Warriors have Wilt Chamberlain, and the Wizards have Wes Unseld. So now we're going to simulate the regular season. In the top right corner, it says it's 2025, but all the rosters are updated. Before we get too far into it, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe and like the video. I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers before the end of the summer. The season is over. The big ticket, Kevin Garnett won MVP. He averaged 25 and 15. Mikael Brown Jr. won Rookie of the Year. That's pretty weird. Wemby won DPOY, and Dwayne Wade won Clutch Player of the Year. On first team, there was Kevin Garnett, Nikola Jokic, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bob Pettit. Second team had Giannis, Wemby, Moses Malone, Kareem, and Dwayne Wade. And third team had Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Hakeem Olajuwon, Dirk, and Chris Paul. LeBron and Jordan both being on third team is kind of crazy, but for the defensive teams, there was Wemby, Moses Malone, Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and Kareem on all defensive first team, and Kevin Garnett, Asar Thompson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Dwight Howard, and Chet Holmgren on all defensive second team. As for the standings, the Cavaliers won the most games in the East with 55, and the Timberwolves won the most in the West with 64. For the play-in, we have the Nuggets and the Clippers, and the Rockets and the Pelicans in the West, and the Pacers and the Heat, and the Sixers and the Knicks in the East. And after the play-in, the Rockets and the Nuggets got in the West, and the Knicks and the Heat got in the East. So I'll kind of simulate past round 1 pretty quick unless there's any game 7s. So already the Timberwolves made quick work of the Rockets. They move on to the second round. The Raptors with Vince Carter got eliminated in 5 games, and Michael Jordan surprisingly got eliminated already. Every series is now either over or in game 7. The Blazers and the Warriors are in a game 7, the Spurs and the Mavs are in a game 7, and the Thunder and the Nuggets are in a game 7. All the series in the East have already ended though. This is game 7 of Mavs versus Spurs. Winner goes to the second round. And the Spurs blow them out. Tim Duncan and Wemby is kind of an insane duo. Fox had 24, Wemby had 20, and Tim Duncan had 19. So in this game versus the Warriors with Wilt and Steph somehow get eliminated. Clyde Drexler at 38, Ja Morant had 31, and Damian Lillard at 24. They have 3 good guards. One of them must be coming off the bench. I don't think I mentioned this before, but I did optimize all the starting lineups to make the teams better. So I did move around some positions. Our final game 7 is the Nuggets who have Jokic and Alex English, and the Thunder who have Shea and Westbrook, and it looks like the Nuggets are surprisingly going to win this one. I guess Jokic kind of just carried, as well as Alex English. English had 34, and Jokic had 33, 13, and 17. That's kind of insane. So our second round matchups are now set. We've got the Timberwolves versus the Blazers. We've got the Spurs versus the Nuggets, and in the East, we've got the Hawks versus the Knicks, and the Magic versus the Heat. I just realized that the 8-seeded Knicks knocked off LeBron. That's kind of crazy. LeBron and Jordan both go down in the first round. And also, the 76ers didn't even make the playoffs. Alright, the Minnesota Timberwolves haven't lost a game. They're in the conference finals led by Kevin Garnett and Ant. And they also have LaMelo too, so that is a great team. And Tim Duncan and Wemby are up 3-1 on the Nuggets. The Spurs 1-5, they're playing the Timberwolves in the conference finals. As for the East, the Hawks are up 3-1 on the 8-seeded Knicks. Orlando and Miami are 2-2. The Hawks with Bob Pettit move on to the conference finals. The last series remaining is the Magic and the Heat. This is game 6. The Magic are up 3-2. The Magic and Heat are going to game 7. And it looks like the Magic are going to take this one. Banchero at 34, Desmond Bane at 25, and Dwight Howard at 13 and 13. Our conference finals matches are sent. We've got the Timberwolves versus the Spurs and the Hawks versus the Magic. So far, the Spurs are up 2-1 and the Hawks are up 2-1. The Spurs are now up 3-1 and so are the Hawks. The Hawks are up 3-1. If they win this game, they're going to the finals. And it looks like the Hawks are dominating this one. The Magic get eliminated. Bob Pettit at 30 and 14, Jalen Johnson at 27 7, 9, and 10. I didn't expect the Hawks to make the finals, but the Timberwolves and Spurs make sense. Alright, game 5, the Spurs can win in 5, just like the Hawks if they win this game. We haven't gotten an opportunity to jump in. The Spurs win. LaMelo had 27 and Edwards had 26, but it wasn't enough. Tim Duncan had 20 and Wemby had 18 and 10. And we have a Spurs versus Hawks finals. I didn't really expect that. It's just Bob Pettit and Jalen Johnson carrying. The Spurs take game 1 in convincing fashion. De'Aaron Fox had 24, Wemby had 22 and 15, and Tim Duncan only had 18. We finally have a situation to jump into. The Hawks are up 6, but the Spurs still have a chance. The Spurs have the ball as we jump in. Tim Duncan actually isn't in the game. Wemby is, though. They pass it down to Wemby, guarded by Bob Pettit. Yeah, Bob Pettit's kind of just too small. Wemby puts it the layup, gets the finish. Here's the rookie Flemings bringing it up. Dort gets the screen, driving by, passes it down, Pettit, easy dunk. And Wemby's going to bring the ball up, playing some point center. Wemby driving on Pettit, trying to get right to the rack, gets it again. 4-point game. Timeout by the Hawks. Wemby only has 20 this game, although generally there is lower scoring numbers just because there's more players on each team that are good. McCollum passes it down, Wemby gets the steal. De'Aaron Fox driving to the paint, tough layup, gets it to drop, only 2-point game now. McCollum passes it down to Pettit, Pettit trying to post up Wemby, puts up a weird post move, misses. Tim Duncan's now in the game, they pass it down to Fox, Fox hop step layup, doesn't go. About 45 seconds left now. McCollum driving down, gets it down to McDaniels. Dyson Daniels is standing at the top. Shot clock's winding down. The shot clock is only at 2. He's got to put up a shot. Puts up a deep 2. In and out. Wemby gets the board. 25 seconds left. They pass it up. De'Aaron Fox in the corner. De'Aaron Fox is open for 3 off the Wemby screen. No good. And they foul. They're not in the bonus just yet. Let's see if the Spurs can get a steal or something. They get it to McCollum. McCollum's fouled. First free throw for McCollum goes. This second free throw will make it a 2-possession game, and he got it. The Spurs call their final timeout. They're down 4. If the Spurs can manage to pull this off, they'll be up. And Wemby's open in the corner. Tough 3-ball. Rattles it in. It's just enough space for Wemby to fade away and hit it. They pass it down. He's fouled. And now it's going to be Alexander Walker going to the line. First one goes. Second one for Nikhil goes. The Spurs are down 3. They have to shoot it. Champagne has some room. No, not Champagne. Champagny. Out to Castle on the rebound. And Castle misses, and they had 2 chances, but they couldn't make it. The Hawks tie the series. Tim Duncan had 24 and 13, and Wemby had 23, 8, and 10. Bob Pettit had 30 in the win, and CJ McCollum had 23. The series is now tied at 1-1. We have another close game in Game 3. The Spurs are up 3 with 1:38 to play. I wish we could have gotten some more jump-ins before the finals, as Flemings gets a nice dunk, but at least we're getting some good gameplay in the finals. They pass it down to Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan driving, drop step. Layup doesn't go. Fleming's trying to get to the paint. Tough layup. Drops it for the lead. So the rookie's kind of just taking over. We've seen Kingston Flemings a lot so far. Harper passes it down and it passes stolen. The Spurs are blowing this lead. Johnson off the screen. Has some room for 3. Doesn't drop. The Spurs have a chance to redeem themselves. Wemby's not even in the game. I just realized. He's probably fouled out or they just don't have him in for some reason. They pass it down to Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan fade away. Hits it. And Wemby isn't fouled out, so he should be coming in. I don't know why he wasn't in before. Wemby is now checked in on defense. They pass it into McCollum. Alexander Walker gets the screen from Pettit. They have to do something here. Gets right to the rack. Layup is good. 6.4 to play. The Hawks are up 1. And the Spurs call a timeout. They pass it into Fox. They have 5 seconds left. Fox is going to go for the win here. Fox down the lane. Puts up the shot. Hits the game winner. De'Aaron Fox just hit a midi. And unless he's going to make this full court shot, the Spurs just won off of a De'Aaron Fox game winner. De'Aaron Fox redeems himself from last year's playoffs in real life with a game winner. The Spurs are now up 2-1. They can take a commanding 3-1 lead if they win this next game, and it looks like they're going to. Wemby had 36 and 16, Fox had 25, Castle had 17, Tim Duncan had 15. And Game 5 could seal it here. The Spurs are up 3-1 in the series. And that'll do it. The Spurs win the NBA title. Wemby had 30 and 16 in the final game. And ultimately, when every single team had a new player, the Spurs are the ones that came on top. Tim Duncan and Wemby was enough to win a championship. These were the league leaders in scoring for the playoffs. If you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.